Good morning, everybody. Got a pretty exciting deck for today. This is MonoW Fiddlebender, a deck that we played a lot of in the past. Used to be a deck that I thought was pretty well positioned. We trophied with it a few times. And I've been kind of talking about this idea briefly on stream a few times, and I finally got around to playtesting it, and I've actually been liking it a lot. The idea of one, slotting Power Conduit into the deck. Power Conduit is a card that pairs very well with Urza Saga, where with Power Conduit in play, when Urza Saga Chapter 3 goes on the stack, you can peel a counter off Urza Saga and still resolve Chapter 3's search ability while keeping your Saga in play with the potential to just make an Urza Saga token every single turn. And what's cool about Power Conduit in Fiddlebender is that obviously it is a powerful tutor target to Fiddlebend into play with Oswald Fiddlebender. Rasa, thank you for the 9 months, appreciate you. But there is another new big addition to the deck, and that is the Saga from Kamigawa, the Restoration of Eiganjo. This is a card that I've been kind of staring at for a really long time, and every time I've tried to build with the deck, so like I've had, hold on, let me see if I can pull up a... I've had a few different like build arounds. I've tried to build around Restoration a few times, and it really never even gets to the playtesting phase. But it's basically always a bigger deck with a higher mana curve. Like a lot of time I'll play like a Maria and Sun Titan, just trying to like get these planes into play and use this as a recursive ramp spell. But Restoration I think fits so perfectly in this archetype where. So let's read the cards. So Chapter 1, you search the library for a planes, put it into your hand, and then Chapter 2 is a very interesting ability. You can discard a card. When you do, return target permanent card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then Chapter 3 lets you flip it into what is basically a Bramaz. And so this is also a Saga that plays pretty well with Power Conduit, where you can either loop just like the basic planes every single turn for card advantage mana acceleration, or you can loop the reanimation effect too. And so the Chapter 2 ability specifically is what's I think very powerful, where in this list, it can recur Urza Saga, it can put a Stoneforge Mystic back into play that died, can reanimate a Fiddlebender, can reanimate a Power Conduit. I've also found that like Lightning Greaves specifically is kind of like this crazy card with the Restoration, where if of Chapter 2 you discard the Greaves that maybe you tutored with Stoneforge Mystic, you go like turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic, get Greaves, Mystic dies, play Restoration, then you can discard the Greaves, put Greaves back into play, doesn't matter that the Greaves is tapped, and then on Chapter 3 you can make your Bramaz have haste, which is a big upgrade to this 3/4 that makes a token when it attacks or blocks. I've been really liking the deck. It's been pretty powerful. I think Dispatch is a card that's really important to be main decking at the moment, so we're main decking 3, so I think the 4th. Okay, so and then one more thing that's probably important to go over. Kind of like, I guess I should have done this first, but the idea of the archetype as a whole. This is a mono-white artifact-based mid-range deck, and the idea is like as opposed to like the blue splash you usually see in like the blue-white affinity archetype, a mono-white list allows your mana curve to be very low and your mana to be a lot more consistent. And so while Oswald Fiddlebender is not a better payoff than cards like Urza or Thought Monitor, the ability to have a very low curve while also like a very grindy engine, I usually do think is worth it. Notably, this you might be a lot of people wonder what Crackdown Construct is in here for. It's an infinite combo that you can tutor with Fiddlebender, infinite combo with Lightning Greaves to make this infinite power. And then if you can put a Shadowspear on there, it also gets trample lifelink. But it's pretty common to like Stoneforge Mystic up Nettlecyst and Lightning Greaves, and then like just Fiddlebender the Nettlecyst and the Crackdown Construct too. Kind of like a late game combo a lot of the time, but you can go for it aggressively in more linear matchups too. There's probably like a few other things to talk about, but we can maybe just like get into it. Blue-white feels like a bit of an enigma to me at the moment, to be honest. Okay, let's keep this. I have to put Shadowspear on the construct before Greaves. Usually you want to give it infinite power, I think, first. And then put the Shadowspear so that you know it's not going to get like bolted or something, but yeah. You have to take the Greaves off before you equip the Shadowspear. I assume Halo Fountain ended up sucking. Yeah, I was testing Halo Fountain last night. I was not the biggest fan, really. Okay, let me, I think, just jam Stoneforge Mystic. This looks like we're up against Murktide, which is a matchup that I was playing against a lot of last night, actually, and winning a lot. Sad Esper Sentinel's coming on turn 2, not turn 1 here. Okay, and I think this is a good spot to get the Lightning Greaves, kind of for, like, similar reasons we talked about earlier. Obviously, like, pretty happy if the Stoneforge Mystic lives, and if it dies, you know, it's okay, because, you know, we kind of got our card advantage already. It's kind of the idea behind Stoneforge Mystic in this list, as opposed to, like, more traditional Stoneblade Shells with Nettlecyst, Lightning Greaves. When your Stoneforge Mystic dies, it's really not that big a deal. Mana Symbol, 30 months. I'm home to Canada. Awesome. Hope your cruise tour was good. Wizard with the 14. Thank you, thank you. Hoping to draw a land here. We do draw a land. So I'm going to lead on Esper Sentinel here, and I think I'm going to go for Greaves. Did I try any non-mono white version of the deck? So I've played like Boros in the past. I don't think I've ever played a blue-white version, but I get asked this all the time. Let's splash a color. Let's, you know, hey, let's splash a color in Fiddlebender. But like, in my opinion, the reason to play Fiddlebender is to stay mono white. If you want to play a 2-color grindy artifact deck, you can play the more traditional blue-white affinity list, and those lists are reasonable and good and probably a little underrepresented. But again, the reason to play this version is to stay 1 color, have all of your lands come into play untapped, have access to a smooth, consistent mana base, have access to a really low curve, and you know, you're never getting thought monitors stuck in your hand either, which can be something that happens. That's the plan, at least. I feel like if I jam a 3-drop here, it's definitely getting countered, but I think that is likely just going to have to be fine. Oh, whoops. So I guess I jammed the Nettlecyst so I can go Nettlecyst plus Portable Hole. The Restoration is maybe the more powerful of the two effects here anyways. Yeah, we also have a Jegantha, which you can cast off treasure tokens, Springleaf Drum, but I found a lot of time you're like also just discard it to chapter 2. It's there, it's not, you know, super important. These mono white or these blue moon players, they're just like, all right, it's time to dust out Ral Zarek, huh? It's time. Okay, I guess I actually should have played Ichor Wellspring first. Probably doing this no matter what, I guess. Perspiring Mike, 18 months, thank you. So good chance we're going to reanimate the Stoneforge Mystic with the Restoration next turn. We can also make a Saga token that is big enough to kill Rao and give it haste with Lightning Greaves. Also, of course, nice that this is going to dodge basically all of my opponent's damage base removal, but they can obviously have, you know, Brazen Borrower or a War Archmage's Charm. You need 1 copy of Hall of Helios Generosity to loop Saga and Restoration. Hall is probably not honestly that bad of a suggestion. Mike 18, Reginald 16, 6 months. I will say I have definitely found that this deck just doesn't like run out of gas very excuse me very often. Feels like you kind of always have stuff to do with your mana, which is, you know, a good review of the deck. Okay, I think I want to grab the second Nettlecyst with the Stoneforge Mystic. That way I could potentially just get a second threat into play here. I mean, I know they won't both have haste because you only have 1 Greaves. But there's a good chance they like counter this, and then I get to go Saga token, equip, kill the Ral. I also have a main deck Needle if this doesn't work. If this Construct token gets the Greaves on it, that may just be game over. I'm not even sure how they even beat that. They do have the Charm though. Okay, that's fine. A lot of resubs today. Reginald with the 6, Trith with the 14, Decklist with the 15, Valkanus with the 25. Okay, they have 1 card left in their hand. We've got that active Ral Zarek. We have Needle off the Saga if they don't Blood Moon me. If they do Blood Moon me, I think we're going to be in some trouble, though. And Wixbone with the 13, Hondor with the 9. I hope I didn't miss anybody's resub. Narset, okay. Are they gonna Daze Undoing me? Fuck. Whoa! We drew Crackdown Construct. So notably, I can't Crackdown Construct plus equip. Plus equip Shadowspear. Okay. Needle the Row. Well, we also get to flip this. Let's see. I guess they can't really have anything to respond to here. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to cast the Crackdown Construct. If they have a bolt, they get to kill it. But if not, we get to force a chump block here, and then hit them for 10, and then we just get to have a construct, a 10/10 construct with a Lightning Greaves on it, which I just don't really know how mono white beats, or sorry, blue red beats. They have to chump block it every turn. It would have been really, maybe it was better to just get the Shadowspear on it. Could you equip Spear instead of make token? I could, but like they have a mana of it. If they were tapped out, I would do it, but they have a mana available. So I just have to get this up to 18 power. Force a chump block. Oh, sorry, I can only take with the one creature. That's right, but. The Ral is needled, so no ultimate. They have 7 cards in their hands, but they are going to have a really hard time dealing with a Shrouded Construct token, I imagine. Alright, so just 3 more activations. Oh no, I didn't leave the Greaves on the freaking construct. Oh my gosh. So embarrassing. Okay, they just jump block anyway. Same outcome. Sorry. Still finishing my coffee. Same outcome, same outcome. Okay. They have 8 cards in their hand. This is needled. It'd be very cool to win through Narset Daze Undoing, I'll say. Can't attack with both anyway. Yeah, only one of these creatures is gonna have haste, no matter what we do. Relic Modern. No. Don't listen. Don't be blinded by Blue Moon. You know, Modern is so unhealthy. We've got Relic Modern. It's just. Oh well, they just can't beat this. Narset Daze Undoing and to concede the next turn. Blue Moon players are they just don't care. They just literally don't care that there's like a super viable blue-red deck and Modern. They just want to play Ral as it Viceroy, which has never been good. I really think that card has never been better than like any of the other options, to be honest. But I digress a little, I guess. Okay. So against the super interactive decks, I usually cut the Crackdown Construct. Sometimes also cut Kaldra. I think Kaldra is probably one I want to keep in this matchup. These portable holes, I think, have got to go. So I think we have to bring in probably the extra Relic, the extra Needle. I want to keep in dispatches for Murktide. I think 3 is probably the maximum we can really afford to go here. I may have to play the Crackdown Construct, actually, because these portable holes just seem so anemic, and we don't have really any other options. I could play the 4th Dispatch, Moonlight to cycle. I'm not very prepped for the... I could play a Ratchet Bomb to deal with a Blood Moon. Kind of don't hate that. Or an Destructotron. Don't love it either. Yeah, I guess it's probably Jacob's list. Maybe just I'll take a look at Jacob's list and see if we can... Oh, Jacob's playing. Okay, wait, hold on, no, there's no Rao. This isn't the list. This is the strength of Blue Moon. Is people they just don't know how to sideboard against you. I'll play Fourth Dispatch. Hallowed Moonlight, Creativity Reanimator. It's good against Creativity Reanimator, living in Yawgmoth Rhinos. It has a ton of application in Modern right now. Okay, mulliganing on the draw. How many gift subs to get a cube tech? If I have to like take a look at your entire cube and give thoughts on it, let's just say it's not for sale. Sam, 30 months, thank you. Vet Shock, pass. The perfect turn 1. Do you not want any March or any artifact enchantment removal on the sideboard? You could play some. You could play some. I think it's, you know, also fine not to. Like, you know, you don't need Urza Saga answers as much if you're also like the one playing Urza Saga, you know what I mean? But you could play it. Okay, hopefully this Power Conduit resolves, although, I mean, I guess it doesn't look like they have Blood Moon yet, huh? With all the triumphs of the format, is Tectonic Edge good again? I wouldn't, like, laugh at you if you registered a Tectonic Edge. I don't know what deck would be interested in playing it. How many gifted subs for Constellation of losing top 4 RCQ? Free for you, Doom. Sorry for your L. I also took a pretty rough L of my RCQ this weekend. I don't know. It's been rough going. Maybe I'll play Treasure Vault so that the construct would be a 3/3 and dodge like heat. How do you beat Affinity as Murktide? Play Shattering Spree, probably. It's not an amazing matchup. You know, the card Murktide Region is also, like, I think a pretty good plan. Okay, fair enough. Guess we are not popping the Relic, so we can get our Construct. Oh, sorry. Stealing their Shadowspear and putting it on a Murktide is actually a great way to beat Affinity as Murktide. Yeah, steal their Shadowspear and put it on your Murktide. It's really hard for them to beat that. Red Fox, the 2-pack. Thank you. For deck tech, you can post a link in the chat. And Genius Smith. So yeah, to make room for the castles, I ended up cutting a Genius Smith from the list. I've been pretty happy with the change. Smith is like a fine card, but, you know, in my opinion, pretty replaceable. That being said, I have a different draft of this deck together that is playing in Genius Smith. Probably getting dressed down. I could be getting Prismari commanded here. Is playing in Genius Smith over Fiddlebender. I'm not 100% sure on some of the spots, but what's cool about that list is, like, every single card in your deck is, like, grindy, and, like, you don't have Fiddlebender, which is, like, the only the only card in the deck that's kind of, like, weak to hate and stuff. Okay, what is my opponent doing here? I'm not sure. I don't know what I want to get, though. My Needle Engineered Explosives. Probably a card that they have. Always hard to tell, but I think this is a card they likely have. Probably gonna be better to hold up Dispatch over playing Treasure Vault to grow the construct, since I think that I'm probably getting just down anyways, but we'll see. Is this 2 deck decks or just 1? Okay, just ice. Awesome, perfect. Have I tried to Fiddlebender and Pioneer? Yeah, I had a version of Fiddlebender and Pioneer that I thought like looked pretty good, but it ended up being feeling terrible after playing it. But it was Aetherworks Marvel. I thought that it was really cool that you had like this. You had this Fiddlebender chain that was like implement into Puzzle Knot into one of these 3 drops into Marvel, and you get to like make energy along the way. But it turns out as soon as you play an energy card, like people just like know exactly how to play against you. I always felt like that was a big problem. Okay, Jeskai, Sarah, Wildfire. Okay. I'm of the opinion that Sarah Paragon is like not a good enough card for Modern. I also think that when you're playing like a 4-mana creature in your Supreme Verdict deck, I think that things have usually gone wrong. This is the kind of thing I think you see every once in a while that like people just put like I literally can't. I literally can't. With these 3 of Leyline Bindings in the deck text, I don't understand how every deck tech I get has just 3 bindings in it, and I go on like deranged rants every single day about how if you're playing Leyline Binding, it's just like the best card in your deck, and you need to play 4. I do this rant every single stream, and every single stream, every deck tech I get has 3 bindings instead of 4. I will say that like binding and flagstones kind of sucks. Obviously, like maybe if you're wildfiring your own flagstones, you know it's a bit better, but it's gonna make it harder to cast your bindings on turn 2. That's not a good enough reason to just play 3 though. It is better. It is the best removal spell in your deck. It is the best removal spell in your deck. You should play 4. Immediate stun lock this morning. Okay, I don't think I want to jam the Nettlecyst into open mana here. Alpha with the 16. Okay, so that's my first thought. Don't play. Search for Escanta is also completely unplayable. Sarah Paragon just doesn't make any sense in this list, where the only thing you're returning with Sarah Paragon are lands, and like as a ramming up excavator in your Jeskai control deck, this is not a playable card. I guess you could return to Fairy, right? If you return to Fairy, that's fine. It's Snapcaster, but it's just not enough. Like this card requires a lot of build around to be like somewhat playable, and you're not really there. I guess you have Dress Down too. Dress Down's actually kind of sick with it. Still not a card I would be interested in playing. I think Wandering Emperor is like mid as hell, and I would not. It's also not a card I would recommend. If I was to play I would cut the Escanta for the Leyline Binding. I would cut the Wandering Emperor. I would cut the Sarah Paragon. I'd play the 4th Solitude. I'd play the 3rd Teferi Hero of Dominaria. I just need more card advantage spells, really. I'd play the 4th Ending. I'd probably play the 2nd Deluge. Probably no Fire Ice. You could maybe play some Fire Ices, though. Okay. I guess I don't want to play and equip the sword since that turns on Snapcaster, so we'll just go to combat. Yeah, exactly. With Leyline Binding, it's like if you're gonna, it has like really serious deck building restrictions, and so if you're gonna jump through those restrictions to get the domain, you need to maximize that payoff here. Also, like I haven't felt like Celestial. I would like basically never play Colonnade in these control lists. All the control players, it seems like they still just love to play like one Colonnade. It's fine. You can do it, but I don't recommend it. This concept is definitely playable. Mario just isn't good. Next point. Okay, so this says 4 damage on it, or 2 damage on it, 2 more damage coming. But I can go sack Treasure Vault for 2 tokens here to make this a 5/5. Is there a specific reason to not play Wandering Emperor? Is it just I think the Emperor is just not good. Is my honest, unfiltered opinion is that the Wandering Emperor is just an overrated card that is not that good. I think it is. In my experience playing blue-white lately, like especially with so much premium removal, you really need like your 4 and 5 mana threats to draw you cards. And the Emperor doesn't is fine, but like Emperor is a card I think that looked a lot better when she first got it printed, and people just didn't know how to play against her, play around her, all that, I think that the Wandering Emperor became much worse when people played against her a couple times, and I just like playing with and against the Wandering Emperor, I just have consistently felt like she just does not do enough. She's also only like kind of good against Murktide, I feel. I don't know. Like she's okay. She's okay against Hammer, but like there's just so many matchups where she's like by far the worst card in your deck. So the Restoration can get me back a Saga here. Horrible when kind of control decks, better for mid-range. I mean, that's the thing, though, is like most white-based mid-range decks don't want a card like the Emperor, but sure. Okay, so they kill my Germ token. Goes down to 1. Plays their own Relic, which can stop my Restoration. So you may discard a card. When you do, return target permanent with mana value 2 less from the graveyard to battlefield tap. So do I target first? Do I discard a card and then the trigger goes on the stack? I think that's how it works. I think that's how it works, which would... Or do I want to get the Power Conduit? Not that, I guess not that I'm going to get either. Discard and then choose, yeah. So I guess I'm just not discarding. Interesting that they would have the Relic, right? Given that Brothers Wars and Artifacts, do you think Pioneer will be busted open for the RC? I think there's almost no chance that Brothers Wars can be full of broken artifacts. Like, broken artifacts are usually like, you know, super powerful, like 1 and 0 mana cards. They're not like... They're not the kind of cards that see a lot of play in current standard sets. We've had artifact-based sets, you know, in the last, you know, 5-6 years, whatever, that are all like very, very tame. And I have no reason to expect that another standard artifact set is going to be anything but like, you know, another like Kaladesh or very tame set. Maybe Kaladesh. Kaladesh had some good cards. Zach 11 months, Mug 15. But it's also like artifacts and Pioneer currently stink. Like there's very few artifacts in Pioneer that are super worth playing anyways. Okay, 2 cards in opponent's hand. Oh, this turns on my Jegantha. Alright, we'll go for the equip here. This has a lot of toughness. Is it relevant at all to equip sort of Feast and Famine right now? Well, I guess it's just getting countered. Okay. Kaladesh had banned cards in it? Sure. But like it doesn't have any cards that are banned in Pioneer, does it? Oh, Smuggler's Copter. Sure. I don't know. We're not going to see like a Mox Opal. We're not going to see a Mishra's Bauble. We're not going to see... We're not gonna see artifact lands. We're not gonna see like, you know, the cards that people again traditionally associate 10 instant sorcery there. Traditionally associate with the idea of broken artifacts. But this is also my prediction. I haven't seen the freaking set. You know, people always go, Spike, what do you think the set's gonna be busted? You think this is gonna ruin Magic? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't seen the cards. Oh yeah, Ballista. Okay, Ballista is another one. All right, I probably can see do Days and Doing here. Got them down to 1. Yeah, but you know, even if there was going to be, you know, a busted new card from the set, I would have no way of knowing or giving you any kind of prediction. That's, you know, just not just pure speculation. Okay, I'm gonna go to game 3. I'll also say though one more thing, that standard card design has been, in my opinion, like very good for a long time. I personally have been very happy with standard set design. It's probably after Kaldheim. I think, yeah, you can't really count Kaldheim, but like Strixhaven, Adventures, Innistrad, both Innistrads, Kamigawa, Streets. I think these have all been really good standard sets. Hallowed Moonlight instead of Dispatches? I don't know. Just like 2 mana cycle is a pretty embarrassing card to register. God.com, thank you for the 24 months. Happy 2 years. How is performing this deck? I've been liking it. This is our first match on stream. I've been playtesting it off stream and been liking it a lot. What was wrong with Kaldheim? Valky and Tybalt's Trickery were both like cards that broke Modern. I don't know. I think if like one card gets like a whole rules change, another card gets banned, it's hard for you to like sign off on the set. But I liked the set. There's plenty of sets that I liked that were full of like bad design. Like I loved Throne of Eldraine. Boy, was Throne of Eldraine like maybe the worst design set of all time. But I liked it a lot, especially at the time. It was very exciting. Really hoping to fade a turn 3 Blood Moon here. I mean, really the Cascade spells are broken cards. There's nothing wrong with Valkyrie Tibble. Yeah, but it's just like, yes, the Cascade spells are broken. The fetch lands are broken, but that doesn't mean that like, you can't design around them a little bit, right? Trigger is also like, apparently somewhat of a standard card too, but I'm not really sure to what degree, to be honest. War of the Spark. Yeah, I mean, War of the Spark was a set I actually don't think I liked very much, but was also, pretty bad design, I think. Okay, we drew Needle. I didn't see Explosives last game. Obviously, they could still have it. Could name Narset. Still have their Days in Doing combo. Might just like cycle a Chromatic Star. Maybe another Ice. Ooh, an Archmage's Charm to steal. Sure. So very unlikely that they have explosives. I guess I'm just gonna freaking needle their stupid Row, huh? Can you check out my Pioneer Fiddlebender deck? I can't. Oh, I also missed a deck tech, didn't I? I missed the Channel Point deck tech. It's always so tough when like can somebody find it? There was a Channel Point deck tech I didn't do. I just now remember. Maybe whoever it is was still in the chat. I can post in the link again. I'm concerned with Valky did Modern. The deck that cascaded into Valky, so you could cascade into Valky with Violent Outburst, Shardless Agent. It was the best deck in Modern's history. It was better than Eldrazi. It was better than Hogak. It was better than the Urza decks. It was the best deck in Modern's history. It was insanely broken, and it was only allowed to exist for a very short period of time, but it was completely ridiculous. Okay, so this is for Frost, the Channel Point deck tech, and then Troll. If you post a link in chat too, I'll get yours after this, but. It's always tough when I have like 3 at the same time, 3 in the same match, Okay, Ice baby. Pioneer Mill. Oh boy, Jace Memory Adept. Okay, so we're trying to copy Tasha's Hideous Laughter, and okay, so my first like impressions. My first impressions of this list, like I don't know why this deck is playing Cinderclasm. I don't know why this deck is playing Burn Down the House. I don't know why this deck is playing Tormented Voice. These all feel like cards that are like not Pioneer power level and not like well positioned in the metagame and don't facilitate like your deck's game plan at all. I would also say Dual Strike is pretty interesting because you get to copy Tasha's for 1 less mana, especially when you compare it to Galvanic Iteration. But I think for the most part, I want to see the Jace come out of here. I want to see the well, I guess probably hard to complain too much when we got to make so many tokens. I want to see the Jace come out of here. I want to see the Tormented Voice come out. I want to see Cinderclasm burn down the house. That's what, 5, 8 spots. I want to see you play no more than like 2 or 3 copy effects. So you can play like, I think 1 dual strike, 2 iterations at most. I don't want the main deck negates either. I want 4 Founding, 4 Maddening Cacophonies, and then like 4 Fiery Impulse too. And I'll also say, like, as a... I think I might just want to... Yeah, I don't think I want a Power Conduit. I don't have, anything to use it with. I can go attack first, second main phase, Chromatic Star, into Jegantha if I don't find anything better to do. Jegantha time. Yeah, so I don't know. So again, I want 4 Strangle, 4 Fiery Impulse, 4 Cacophony, 4 Founding. 2 Didn't Say Please at most, 3 Copy Spells at most. You have a few flex spots to play beyond that. I don't know why you want to play Test of Talents and Pioneer. Maybe there's something. It seems like Narset Reversal also doesn't seem like a card to play. 3 Alpine Moons is too many moons. I think that the Lotus Field deck is very uncommon these days. The Needle is a good sideboard card. I feel like you're really wanting to play Aether Gust in the sideboard for mono green. Okay. The deck should run Electromancer. It could run Electromancer. Something to consider. Like, to build a Fiddlebender deck, you can't, like, this strategy of having 4 Inspector, 4 Smith, 4 Fiddlebenders, and then the rest of your deck is literally all Fiddlebender targets is just not that good of a strategy when your deck is reliant on untapping with a 2-mana 2/2 in Pioneer. Like, in this list, like Fiddlebender can be like a card advantage engine that allows you to stay mono white, and can potentially like improve your sideboard, put sideboard cards into play, potentially have a combo to play to be good in like more linear matchups, but it just is not the kind of card that you can afford to have as a plan A. And as like your what's seemingly like your only plan here, playing like literally all tutor targets, like you have to because you're so in on Fiddlebender, you're main decking Damping Sphere, Your your card quality in this list is super duper low. I think I'm gonna grab Kaldra. I think they're pretty likely to be creativity. Yeah, I kind of like making them kill the Stoneforge Mystic. I do like having access to the book combo. I think that's nice. Beyond the book combo though, like you really just you can play. I don't know. Like the whole deck needs to be just ripped up. Really, like you can maybe play the Halo Fountain. I was trying Fountain here, really not liking it that much to be honest. Like yeah, I don't know. You kind of have to start over. I feel. You're in way too deep with Fiddlebenders. You need to shoot for like 3 tops, maybe 4 in Pioneer, but something close to that as the number of dedicated tutor targets you have, if that makes sense. You just can't afford to play this is like 25 tutor targets or something like that. And for these deck techs, the last one is another good example where you just kind of have to really rip it up. It's hard to just completely rebuild it for you for the deck tech, but this is why I don't like this. Your card quality is so low, and your payoff Fiddlebender is just not good enough payoff. All right, Construct time. Am I running 4 Spire, or why are you opting to play Vault over it? If you're talking about Spire of Industry is not an artifact land. I'm playing these because they are artifact lands. Yes, I am playing 4 Citadel. Okay, so I think I'm going to go Construct, Springleaf Drum, Chromatic Star, Portable Hole. Don't think drawing that changes that plan. Is there any way that like attacking with a 7 power creature here is just super duper relevant? I don't think so. Or sorry, 8 power creature. Well, I guess 8 power. So if I go Treasure Vault, Chromatic Star, this is 8. I put them to 8. They go fetch down to 7. Archon up to 10. But I don't have a way to just like grow this up to 10 power, so I think I just do this. Will I start brewing with Brother War spoilers? I never start brewing until we have the full set released. Well, they're not slamming a creativity. What do you think about the recent uptick of Forces and Murktide? Forces is like a lot better than it used to be. With creativity being like the deck to beat. I've been like liking 1 Force and blue-white. I think that like 1 Force and Murktide in the 75 is fine. Oh, so they do have the creativity or transmog. Okay. Not going to be the easiest thing to beat. We do have a bunch of dispatches in the deck. Power Conduit is also, you know, certainly powerful here. My line could just be cast Power Conduit or make a token, cast Power Conduit, attack for 9, and just try to like outgrind this Archon, which is like just not a doable strategy if my opponent has I think I need to crack the star, try to find dispatch. And not finding dispatch, then I just probably have to take this line instead of popping the relic desperately. Because I could have also put another counter here, but then this is only attacking for a maximum of 10 this turn. But then we get to start doing the Power Conduit Saga thing. We can put a Shadowspear on a construct. If they have another Archon, we lose. If they have Leyline Binding, we lose. If they have Prismari Command, we lose. So, not looking very good. Outraised on outgrind? Sure. Maybe a little semantic-y. Yeah, Dead Dispels. His creativity, the next banner will be Archon. I don't work for Wizards. I don't know. It would seem very silly to ban anything other than Written in 6, though. Like, Written in 6 is a huge chunk of the reason why the creativity deck is nuts. It just, like, has, like, you know, just gives them a million lands, gives them so many resources, it's so good with Fable. Okay, so we're gonna get Shadowspear and Hope. Kind of feel like they have Fire Ice. Okay, so I need to draw Dispatch. Oh, okay, game 2. Get to bring in Moonlights. The Torpor Orb, I think comes in. 1 needle's good. I don't know if you want the second needle. I don't know that you want the dispatches. I guess second needle's probably... If we can play 2 needles, we have a lot of answers to Ren, and we just probably don't need to play any portable holes, which is nice. They want to cut the 4th restoration a lot of the time here. The construct... Oh yeah, the Ratchet Bomb is pretty good. I like Ratchet Bomb a lot against creativity. I don't like explosives, but you don't have to hold up mana for this card, which is, you know, what to like about it. How many fetches and blue eyes control 4 bindings? I've been playing 10. Most of us just play 8. I think you want at least 10. I think you want 3 dispatch. I don't think you want 4. Let's do this. Recently, Esper Food went on sideboard some solo slots. Yeah, I mean, it's been so long since I played Esper Food. At this point, I would want to like rework the sideboard a lot. I don't know how I'd build it though. Okay, deck tech for Simon. So they can chat. I can take a look. So mulligan, no white mana. We do have Saga Conduit plus Dispatch. Definitely like this hand enough to keep. I've seen blue-white splashing ruin. Yeah, I think it's fine. You're like way worse to Blood Moon, and your mana is a lot more painful. It's like your mana is pretty bad, but you get to play red and 6, and that card's broken. Yeah, I don't think we've cast Oswald yet, but you know, again, Oswald is just like, you know, it makes your sideboard a lot better. It has a combo. It's really good to untap with. It's really, you know, but this deck is not so built around Oswald that you're like, you know, just like needing to draw it, you know. So they have a turn 2 Ren. I probably should be making a Saga token this turn rather than Needling right now. Okay. Don't hate that draw. If we get to just keep doing Power Conduit Saga all game, then I'm going to be happy to just be able to dispatch their Archons. When 7-3 this little week, I feel strong inspired by Time Warp going. Yeah, just playing Teferi off time over the Time Warp I think is totally fine. I do think you have to play 4 Ren and 6. I think just playing 3 is just incorrect. I think like the 4th Fire Ice is pretty cuttable. Second Dress Down is somewhat cuttable. I think the Fire Ices are good. I don't know that they obviously don't feel like a mandatory include, but they do look good. But yeah, you have to. I don't think that the 4th Ren and 6 is like a conversation. I think you have to play 4 in all these 4-color piles. Ratchet Bomb has got it going on. To draw 1, I have waited for so long. I guess kind of bad with my Construct token plan, though. Yeah, I mean, make Construct, get a Springleaf Drum, dispatch the Shaman, kill the Ren. Gotta kill Ren, I think, because of the Sage's existence. A lot of time I wasn't playing Ren 6 on turn 2. I was happy enough only having 3. I don't know. I mean, I've played a lot of these kind of piles, like Reclamation, 4-color with only 3 Ren, thinking it's fine. And then when I play the 4th Ren, like, playing 4 Rens makes your mulligan's insane. It makes your mulligan's so good. You have like mediocre 7s and like mediocre 6s. You're like, I could keep this and probably lose, but I'm playing 4 Ren and 6s. Any like 4 or 5 card hand that has 2 lands and a Ren and 6 is just going to be better than this hand, and you get to find that so consistently. Okay. Probably discard the Needle at this point. I'm not a huge fan of Aether Gust, but I think it's fine. You could play if this is like mostly for Blood Moon, you could be playing the the white one that exiles any black or red permanent, which also gets rid of Archon. Why not Bomb? It kills my own Construct, and I was thinking that just having Dispatch up here was going to be enough, which I think it is likely to be enough. I don't have the second Needle in the deck, right? Oh, I do have the second Needle in. That's right, that's right. So I can just go click OK, the Needle Scalding Tarn if they don't fetch. They never expect the second Needle, huh? Then make a Construct token plus Dispatch. I think I want to play around Spell Pierce. Then I can also play Ratchet Bomb to stop future creativities. Oh, I should have played it obviously pre-combat. Whoops. So Blood Moon, Scam, Creativity, Titan, etc. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I could be underrating it. I haven't like been like on Ratchet Bomb or Aether Gust in a while, so like I could be. I haven't, as someone who hasn't played in a long time, I could be undervaluing it. I like the Emrakul. with this sideboard, you're also definitely saying though that you don't think Dredge is back. Which, like, to be fair, like I since the banning of Yorion, Dredge has seemed to go away for a little bit, but that's something to keep an eye on. But it was definitely like popular enough to be wanting some graveyard hate for. But this looks pretty good overall. I would just like definitely cut the 4th Fire Ice for the 4th run, and I would also still be thinking of the Fire Ices as flex spots too. Oh shoot! Oh right, the needle played around Pierced. I mean, yeah, Moonlight can be a card against... Moonlight's not really a card against Dredge, honestly. It like, never, ever gets the job done, I feel. Damn it. Creativity is a really good deck, huh? So, notably, I can be putting charge counters on the Ratchet Bomb with the Power Conduit. I'm probably never getting up to 8. I'm probably never getting up to 8. Here, I think I might just want to get the Spear. I guess I could get the Spear next turn. The Relic. Pass, make a token on their turn. I could pop the Relic now. Try to find my last dispatch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I play Nettlecyst, the Germ token just dies. I guess playing Nettlecyst plus. Oh no, sorry, yeah. If I could Nettlecyst plus make a token, I'd be more into it. But it's better to make a token, not have to sacrifice it. Yeah, I know it gets discarded, but it's way better to like not have to sacrifice a creature here, right? I can also pop the Relic to not have to discard it. Which is maybe the plan, because maybe I can go... I guess I'm not going to have enough mana to equip Shadowspear and play and equip Nettlecyst. But I think trying to find third dispatch. Maybe I should be playing 4 dispatches in this matchup. If like I'm like so desperately wanting to draw it in this spot, right? You can tap the Germ, then sack it. I don't have enough mana to play Nettlecyst and make a Construct token. I'm 1 short. Guess I'm blocking the Dwarf token. We might actually get the bomb up to 8 if we equip Shadowspear and just gain a ton of life. They have 8 cards in their hand though, so it's like pretty unlikely we get to hit them with the Construct. Why are you running Relic with Eiganjo? Is it better to have Lantern or something? I mean, Relic is like much more main deckable than Lantern, you know what I mean? It's like way better to, you know, be able to like cycle the Relic while exiling the graveyard than like choosing between a cycle or a graveyard exile. I don't think that the tension is very big, honestly, but with 1 Relic and the castles, or not the castles, the restorations. With a keepable hand, love to have a turn 1 Sentinel. Finally have a Fiddlebender too. Although there's a solid chance I'm just gonna go like, depending on what the matchup is, I might just go like Shadowspear Sentinel turn 2. How does Creativity do against Thoughtseize? Like most Wrenn and 6 decks, pretty good against Thoughtseize. You know what's really good against Creativity? Surgical? Yeah, I think Surgical is probably a little underplayed. It obviously, like, has its moments, but it also has, you know, misses. Okay, I think we're up against Living End. I think I'm going to... In this matchup, prioritizing the Fiddlebender makes sense. I might do something like Shadowspear and then Fiddlebender into Power Conduit, though. When Modern was 4 Thoughtseize and 4 Inquisition. I feel like they basically never played the full 8. Maybe every once in a while. Why aren't people playing 4 Containment Priests in the sideboard right now? I mean, Hallowed Moonlight is better. Hallowed Moonlight stops Living End and Rhinos, and is also like Priest is really not that good against Creativity because they're a Lightning Bolt deck. They're a Lightning Bolt Fire Ice deck. It's, you know, it's just like not the best answer, I think. what's good against creativity is not much. That's not true. You have Leyline, Orvar, Hallowed Moonlight, Invasive Surgery, Flusterstorm, Surgical Extraction seems like a pretty good option for the black decks too. I think those are like the premium interaction, I think. Okay, drawing a land is nice. So next turn I get a Relic. I think I do want to prioritize getting my Power Conduit going. I wonder if I'm supposed to... I wonder how bad it is to sack the Shadowspear, though, because I feel like I might need it to, like, race Living End, but... So I wonder if I'm supposed to cast Shadowspear, sack Esper Sentinel. I think I am. I probably get one less card, but the Sentinel's, like, very late. It's like they have to Living End next turn, otherwise I'm going to get a Relic, and... I think there's a good chance my Saga plan is just going to be able to win. I could obviously get the Relic off the Citadel too, but I think it's just better to get the Power Conduit. Does Restoration get back Shadowspear? It can, yeah, but kind of slow here, right? How's the Hammer versus Creativity matchup? I think Creativity is favored. It's just like, you know, they're main decking a bunch of Prismari commands and stuff. Prismari command, you know, binding. Yeah, that's true. Sentinel in the yard is, you know, comes back against Living End. I think this is the right line. Very happy they didn't mill over a creature with their Waker. That's actually like a really big game here for me. They also like might not Living End this turn, and then I get the Relic in play, and I'm feeling pretty good. Alright, so up here. I will say that the Power Conduit tech has been really good for me so far in my testing. I've been just incredibly happy with it. Okay, so we'll get the Relic. Now, obviously, we have some insulation. I could play Cast Restoration and then get a Plains here. It's really good if it resolves. If they counter it, though, and I don't have my Relic activation up, things get a little dicey. I think now that the Relic is in play, I don't need the Shadowspear as much. I could just make a token, but I feel like I don't want to play into the Living End so much either, if that makes sense. Token seems better. The problem with token too is I tap out of the Relic. I go end of turn, make a token, they just can just violent outburst me. King of the 14 months, thank you. I'm just gonna sack the Shadowspear here and get a Ichor Wellspring, I think. Maybe I draw a land also. Maybe not, but then I can, you know, it's a good thing to sack through Wellspring for another Nettlecyst next turn. Go for combo. We can go for the combo, but I think it might be a little too slow here, to be honest. Would you draw a land? Mad just make token. I think Mad just make token is like incorrect here. I think I open myself up to violent outburst for no reason. If you go Mad just make token. I'm very ahead of my conduits. Like the longer the game goes, the longer I get to, you know, go Power Conduit Saga. I'm feeling good. If they violent outburst here, I might just let it resolve. Yeah, I'm just beating this Waker of Waves and Architects. See King 14 months, thank you. Jun Saga. I don't. Riveter's Charm is a card I like a lot, but with 4 copies of Urza Saga, I've been worried about how hard that card is to cast. If you feel like the card is like pretty easy to cast, then you can take a closer look at it. But I feel like Fable of the Mirror Breaker is the card I'd be playing in the spot instead. There is also no modern deck where you should be playing less than like the first Inquisition over the 4th Thoughtseize. There's no modern deck where you should be playing the 4th Inquisition, the first Inquisition over the 4th Thoughtseize. There is just like no end to the list of cards Thoughtseize hits that Inquisition misses. Although I will say that the ban of Yorion was a buffed Inquisition. I really dislike this Takanuma. I think Takanuma is like by far the weakest of the channel lands. And I believe that you want to minimize the number of black sources in your Urza Saga Renin 6 deck. You need like a higher density of lands that cast Renin 6. I think I've been playing one. Have I? No, actually, I haven't been playing the Forgotten Cave. That's a different list. I mean, you can also look at, you know, I have a list of the Stream Decker, which is like very close to what I'd recommend, but oh yeah, this one is like up the top. Okay. So the last time I played the list, I was playing Grist as my like 3-drop flex spot, and my curve is so much lower than yours. Why is my curve so much lower? I'm playing 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Inquisition. I'm playing 4 tutor targets. I'm playing 6 1-mana removal spells like you are. How do you have room for 3 Riveteer's Charms? Like 4 Goyf. Is this more than 60 cards? It's not, right? 28. 43, 47, 60. How do you have 3 Riveteer's Charms in here? So, oh, it's like I have 1 Grist. I have 2 Terminates. Okay, somebody help me out, I don't know. Okay, this is fine. Oh, you have 5 discard spells, 1 red. I'm not sure where the other spot is. You can play 5 discard spells, that's fine. You have to play the 4 Thoughtseize. I would recommend 6, but you can play 5. I would play Fable over Riveteer's Charm, any number of those. I was playing Grist last time. I think I'd be playing Fable over Grist, even with the Mox Amber. I've been liking Mox Amber a lot, by the way. Like, it's just like very good with Renin 6 Ragavan. You can play Springleaf Drum instead, but it's been better for me than Drum. I've been kind of keeping track. I don't think you need Ob in the sideboard, which is, in my opinion, only a sideboard card for the burn matchup. In my opinion, this is not something that you need when you have Shadowspear in the main deck. Iceman 60 months, I think it's a waste of sideboard spots. In my opinion, is Binding causing a mental misstep issue? No. Like, the thing about mental misstep, I wouldn't say it's, like, nearly that egregious, if, like, you know, even egregious at all. I'm probably taking 7. It's like, with mental misstep, every deck can play mental misstep. Not every deck can play Leyline Binding. Leyline Binding is pretty restricted to mid-range and control. Which, as far as, you know, I don't know. I mean, everybody always hyper-focuses on mid-range and control lists, to be honest, but I would not describe it as a mental misstep issue, no. Trying to push as well. Yeah. I mean, I just tend to like the lower curves in general. Like, Riveteer's Charm is also like not a card that you want to play with like this higher curve, anyways, if that makes sense. Riveteer's Charm really wants you to have a super low curve. Ooh, Waker is really good against Sentinel, huh? Is there a member there to pumping our Sentinel for sure cards? I just want to get this up to big enough to okay, I'm gonna deal with Misty. I want to get this up to big enough to trade for the Waker, but maybe that was just easy enough, right? Yeah, so here I'm just going to play another Sentinel, make another token, hold up the Relic, pop. And I guess I can attack too. Yeah, Needle 2 fetch lands today. Isn't it better to get a Drum so you can double Saga token? If I double Saga token, I tap out of the Saga again. Stone Raining them also feels super good here, I think. I think I'm okay not making 2 Saga tokens this turn. Been playing Titan's Nest, swapping Snapcaster by Dryads are able to have Kihira. Yeah, that seems fine. I like the change. Dryads Revival might just be better anyways. Although it does increase the number of cards that like pretty dopey draws when you don't have Nest in play. But then you get a Kihira, so maybe it's even. Alright, they just take 9. I missed last game. What happened? We got creativity. Yeah, you could play Founding the Third Path instead. The problem is like you don't get to mill and flashback in the same turn, but and I don't know. It seems you could play that. You could play it. You basically have nothing to use on like chapter 1 either, which kind of stinks. Yeah, if they're on the bounce plan, it's fine. You can just jump block with the Sentinel this turn. Are there any remove counter cards that exist in Pioneer? I think there's maybe like a green-white legendary creature that lets you do this with Sagas. From Kamigawa. I can't remember what that card does. Ethical Pickle, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Why does it always seem to be Modern Horizon cards and Eldraine cards that power out the broken decks right now? I mean, those are the two, like, Modern Horizons 1, 2, Throne of Eldraine are the 3 most powerful sets ever printed, probably. Excluding Alpha Beta. maybe probably Urza Saga. Urza Saga's probably... Or the Urza block is probably gooder too, huh? I think I want to make a token sorcery speed. Mirrodin. I think I would count. Throne of Eldraine, Modern Horizons 1 and 2 more powerful than Mirrodin. Admittedly, I'm maybe not as familiar with Mirrodin as I could be. Ginger, 21 months, and Togo with the raid. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. I think I cast Nettlecyst. My opponent's going to Living End here, but I'm going to get to draw some cards and then pop Relic and just make another token. Smith, 15 months. Yeah, Saga's most powerful set. Yeah. Zendikar was pretty strong. It doesn't have anything on the sets we just mentioned, I think. Ooh, Power Conduits from Mirrodin now. There you go. I don't know. I think people like really underrate. Like Throne of Eldraine is more powerful than Modern Horizons 1, I think. I think it may even be more powerful than Modern Horizons 2, but 2 is probably better than 1 and Throne of Eldraine. But it's close. It's like it's close. I don't know. Throne of Eldraine is a ridiculous set. People I think really forget how crazy this set was. Definitely not better than Image 2. I think it's a conversation, honestly, but I think it's better than Image 1. I think I would put Image 2 over Throne of Eldraine, but there's just like, you know, there's three cards from Throne of Eldraine banned in Modern. There's 0 cards from Throne of Eldraine or from Modern Horizons 1. 0 cards from Modern Horizons 1 that are banned in, Modern Horizons 2. There's 2 from 1. There's 0 cards from Image 2 that are banned in Modern. Yeah, Eldraine had a lot of good cards too. Hogak, yeah, well, so yeah, I mean, Image 1 has 2 banned cards. Hogak and Astrolabe. Eldraine has 3. Like, Oko is like as good as Hogak, better than Hogak maybe. You have Dispatch for the Curator, I guess. Yeah. 0 from Image 2, 2 from Image 1. Although I will say, like, I think Image 2 is a more powerful set than Image 1. Like the power level is a bit flatter, where it kind of like has a more, I think, established power level, if that makes sense. It's a bit flatter, but Image 1 had, like, you know, again, specifically Hogak that was like a step above, and Astrolabe was too good of an enabler. Were Hogak and Oko together in Modern? I think that they were. Once upon a time, Oko and Mystic Sanctuary were the 3 Throne of Eldraine cards banned in Modern. But also, like, Throne of Eldraine is just, like, nothing but, like, cross-format superstars. I don't know. It's just the whole set. You just scroll and scroll and scroll. Just so many of these cards are just so insane. Don't you think Hogak should be a fine card of Modern right now? Absolutely not. People are drunk. People are so out of their minds with takes on Modern. It's unreal. It's unreal how out of their minds. Don't you think Hogak? No, I do not think Hogak would be a fine card in Modern right now. I think it would be the best deck in the format by a lot if it was legal. People are out of their minds with takes. Hogak is much better than any card in MH2. Hogak is much better than any card in MH2. You're judging power set by 5 outliers. MH1 had more than Hogak and Astrolabe. It had Brennan 6. Undead. Crashing Footfalls, Living in Force Negation. What else? The Throne of Eldraine had Bone Crusher Borrower. No, Throne of Eldraine has a lot. Like, it has the castles. It has Imri. It has Mystical Disputes. It has Gilded, Ironcrag Feet, Hushbringer, Fires of Invention, Fervent Champion, Yellow Hat. Yellow Hat. What do you think is more powerful, Modern Horizons 1 or Throne of Eldraine? This is the current conversation we are having. Drownalock, yeah. Yeah, all the lands and yeah, Embercleave. Crazy card. The Great Hinge. Crazy card. Corvold, Kinrick. You just go down the list. Every card is insane. It's just Escape to the Wilds is banned in Standard, you know. That card's ridiculous. Okay, we're on the draw. We're gonna, game 2 against Living In. Nice to win game 1. Hold on. You guys can continue to argue in the chat. 7 cards, got the portable holes. Can play like max 1 dispatch, I think. Got the needle. Could needle Beseiju or something. Nah. Yeah, Deafening Silence I think was from Eldraine. Yeah, Cat Oven. There's like so much stuff with Throne of Eldraine. You're like, oh yeah, that was from Throne of Eldraine. And like even like the commons and uncommons too are like so ridiculous. I don't know if I saw Gab answer. Probably was like, I am not going to engage in this conversation. Idyllic Range and a banned Pioneer deck. Yeah, Dwarven Mine. Dwarven Mine is currently like people don't talk about how nuts Dwarven Mine is, but it's currently like, you know, 4 of the best deck in Modern, right? And it's like the main enabler for creativity too. Like it's crazy to me that we can talk about how powerful Throne of Eldraine is and just like completely gloss over Dwarven Mine. You know what I mean? It's just the set is just ridiculous. There's Wishclaw Talisman, like, you know, card that sees play in like a lot of Legacy or yeah, has seen play in Legacy Storm. You know, not even something we mentioned. Yeah, Modern Staple Hushbringer. All that glitters. Like so insane degree of these cards have seen constructed play. Mayhem Devil, like yeah, Mayhem Devil too. It's just unreal. Like how you could talk about how powerful Throne of Eldraine is, and there's just a huge list of cards that, like, are nuts and like don't even get mentioned because there's just so many. Mayhem Devil's War. Oh really? It really feels like a Throne of Eldraine card. Okay. We'll just say it's Throne of Eldraine to make my point better. Corvold, Claim the Firstborn, Edgewall Innkeeper, crazy cards. Glass Casket. Yeah, Imri's nuts. That's true. Yeah, Mayhem Devil's like honorary Throne of Eldraine card because of Cat Oven. Trail of Crumbs. Corridor Monitor. Haggle. Just like this was like a dredge staple for a long time. Merfolk Secret Keeper. Return to Nature. Rock Knight. Witching Well. Yeah, Dispute too. Dispute is huge. Dwarven Mine is going to be great with the... They should make 7 Dwarven Mine, where you get 7 Dwarven Mines in your deck. Yeah, Gingerbrute too. Gingerbrute's a great card. Yeah, Drown, of course. It's a ridiculous set. It's a ridiculous set. I don't know. If you think that MH1 is better, I don't think that that's a ridiculous take to have, but at least since I've been playing, the 10 years I've been playing, I think the 3 most powerful sets are Throne of Eldraine, MH1, MH2. And then, like, you know, probably Ikora after that. And then, like, there was that one core set that was ridiculous. War of the Spark. I mean, just all, like, the same era. War of the Spark, core set 2020, Theros Beyond Death, Ikora, and MH1, all, like, being right next to each other. This was the darkest time. The darkest timeline. Kaladesh. I think that Kaladesh is worse than all of these sets, but this was just like this was the dark era. This was the dark era with, like, it was just War of the Spark with the busted Planeswalkers into Modern Horizons 1 with Hogak, Astrolabe, into core set 2020 was Field of the Dead, right? And Omnath, Cavaliers. Yeah, Field of the Dead. Maybe Omnath was core 2021, or maybe it was Zendikar Rising. Omnath was Zendikar, yeah, okay. There was some. This was Veil of Summer though. Veil of Summer was in this set. Veil of Summer, Risen Reef, Golos. Yeah, Golos is quietly nuts. Yeah, into Throne of Eldraine, into Theros, which, you know, was mostly just Uro, right? Oh yeah, Oracle. Yeah, Oracle. I think you had Heliod too for, like, in Pioneer. Theros like ruined Pioneer. Pioneer, in my opinion, Pioneer was really good format, and then Theros came out, and, like, the Pioneer had, like, a really interesting established metagame, and then the metagame was just 4 Theros Beyond Deaths, where it was Uro Piles, Inverter combo with Oracle, Heliod combo, and Breach combo. It went from, like, you know, very diverse, defined metagame into, like, just those 4 decks. Could be good to play Saga turn 1 to get Relic on turn 3. Can you get deck tech using channel points? It's on a cooldown timer, so you can when it becomes available again. We're like an hour 30 minutes into the stream. I think I've done like 7 deck techs today. So Athena, hello. Yeah, but yeah, this was the dark times. I think things started to get a little bit better. I think Zendikar Rising. Zendikar had the MDFCs. The MDFCs were crazy. I don't know. I think, you know, it had Omnath, the MDFCs. A lot of good cards from this set. I think things started to cool down a little bit here, though. Cool down Zendikar Rising, Kaldheim, and then Strixhaven. I've been pretty happy with design. Right on time. Esper Sentinel. Oh, sorry. I meant to play my Saga here. That's actually pretty, like, really bad because I need to be able to get, like, Relic as soon as possible, but maybe we just die anyways. It was the weakest set in the last 5. It was the weakest sets was probably it has to be Crimson Vow. Crimson Vow easily. Was it as dark times as Ixalan? No, I mean, to be honest, like, Ixalan, like, that era was just, like, I would rather things be, like, crazy and the walls are on fire than things are just boring, right? I think the worst thing Magic can be is boring, and for all of the flaws, for all of the flaws of these other sets, at least they weren't boring. Astrolabe died for Urosins? No. Not in my opinion. Astrolabe, I don't know. Like, you ever get Blood Mooned by a 5-color deck? You ever get, like, you're playing a 2-color deck and your 5-color opponent Blood Moons you? That's Astrolabe Sins. What is the standard set with the most banned cards? The most banned cards in Modern? I'm not sure. I think I play Restoration here. It's kind of close. Obviously, the Fiddlebender can give me some hate for next turn, but it's kind of fragile. I mean, if they have Violent Outburst, I'm just going to die no matter what. Astrolabe also, like, let Icefang have Death Touch on turn 2, and as little play as Icefang sees now, it can be easy to forget how, like, nuts turn 2 Death Touch on Icefang is, with perfect mana also. Matthew, 38 months, thank you, welcome back. The Artifact lands count? Yeah, they count. So that'd be, yeah, Mirrodin. Nine cards from Mirrodin Random Honor. Yeah, maybe that's the best set, huh? I take a mass blocks, it means resetting power creep to keep the game going. I mean, obviously, like, you know, to some extent I'm speaking hyperbolically. I would prefer things to be balanced, right? But I don't know, like, if I'm bored, I'm not playing Magic, right? Okay, we get the Relic in play. It's actually nuts. Thank you, Restoration. But yeah, it is also okay, like, if, you know, I guess I don't play those Sentinels so that I can make a token and leave up the Relic pop. It's okay if you disagree and you prefer, you know, boring sets to crazy sets. Ideally, you're somewhere in the middle, but, you know, these were the dark times, right? But I also streamed this entire time. I started streaming during Modern Horizons 1, and things are crazy, and the walls were always on fire, and, like, it wasn't sustainable, but boy, was it kind of fun. boy, were the dark times kind of fun, not gonna lie. Just, like, there's always, like, busted, crazy stuff to be exploring and trying to beat and trying to, like, metagame against and innovate on. It was, like, again, not sustainable, but fun. Order, Twitch Prime, take a thank you. Yeah, into the story, Grixis. What a time. I think Enchantress is underplayed in Modern. Yeah, but Enchantress is also like if I'm gonna be, you know, real, the deck is like hella repetitive, you know. So I feel like a big part of the reason why it doesn't see play really is because it's just because of how repetitive it is. Spike is still a Magic Infant, got years to go before he's jaded. I mean, I've been playing for 10 years, so if I'm still a Magic Infant, that's fine with me. I've really, like, never gotten bored of the game, though. I've never taken a complete break from the game. I've played, you know, less, and I've bounced around formats a lot. I've, you know been primarily, you know, EDH, limited, lots of different formats player, but I've never just gotten bored of the game. I've never really gotten burned out. Yeah, only 10 years? Infant, noob to the game. It is kind of crazy how people act like that for Magic. They're like, oh, you've only been playing 10 years? That's nothing. I don't know if you can, I can hear Esther, I don't know if you guys can. It's been a really weird match. Also, my opponents played so slowly. They're like behind 10 minutes on the clock, which is weird because living in players are usually like playing super duper fast. Bandit, 15 months. Monthly reminder that Yi Hall is just Texan for Pog. I'll keep this in mind. Do I have to take on the Garuda decks from respect to the cat? Do you mean Karuga? I haven't seen Garuda lately. Yeah, I'm just bantering back. I didn't think you were gatekeeping. Do you feel Fable is considered better than initially seen? If so, why? I don't know what you mean by initially seen. Fable's really good. People... It's like, I think Fable's really good at Wrenn and 6 decks specifically. I think that like Wrenn and 6 decks with artifact synergies or creativity are the two places where I think Fable is really good. I don't think Fable is a deck that just fits in every strategy, and I think there's a few strategies that it like sees play in. Like specifically Scam is an archetype that I think like might be better to like just not play it in. Not that, you know, I guess not every Scam player plays it. I digress. How about Fable and traditional Rakdos midrange? Yeah, Fable, I think with like no artifact synergies, no Wrenn, like nothing great to copy. Like I would rather probably play other 3-drops than Fable. Fable in the Kruger deck is sick? It's fine. You gotta have cards to play, huh? Fable lets you hardcast Fury on 4 and scam though. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad, but like it's modern. It's modern. You have tons and tons of 3-drops to play, and Dio 13 months. Like, thank you. Like I feel like I'd be on like season Pyromancer Blood Moon as my 3-drops and like no Fables if I was playing scam right now. My opponent is just definitely going to time out. There's no way they could win this match in the next one, or this game in the next one. Okay, so let's go Citadel. I think I'm still just holding up the second relic pop here. Just like I don't really even want to be putting 2 creatures into play necessarily to play more into second living end. All of our talk of extreme power sets, we skipped over Time Spiral for some reason. I mean, the reason is, you know, I'm a Magic baby, and I just, like, I'm not, like, really familiar with Time Spiral. I've drafted it a couple times, but, you know, I'm a Magic infant. Most of my card evaluations are made in the context of Return to Ravnica onward. I'm just a baby. Kerberos, 34 months. Time to fiddle some benders. That's the plan. Hurry up 2 minutes on the clock. I mean, you know, just like the only way to be up 12 minutes on the clock on Magic Online is your opponent's playing incredibly slowly. And that is what's happening. That is what's happening. Can I explain this deck real quick? I did at the beginning of the stream. You know, this is a mono white mid-range deck that is seeking to have a low mana curve. You also have access to an infinite combo with Oswald Fiddlebender. So the idea is that like Fiddlebender is nuts when you untap with it, and the grindy matchups you don't untap with it that often. You outgrind the grindy matchups, but then Fiddlebender has access to an infinite combo game 1 and access to tutoring up premium interaction in sideboard games. And we are 2 and 1. Up against Scalding Tarn, Rogran Triume, so creativity a second time, which was our loss today. I'm gonna go, I think, Power Conduit here. I think after last match, I'm gonna be, I think, bringing in the 4th Dispatch, where it does seem like you're gonna be able to outgrind or just be able to like take a hit from the Archon, answer it, and keep going. Main phase Ice, looking for land, and they find land, so their hand is 5 spells. Fire Restoration. What do you think is the best mono-color deck in Modern? I mean, there's not that many. Probably Prowess. What kind of decks do you think new players should start learning competitive? So yeah, I get this question a lot. You know, hey, I'm getting into Magic. How should I start? I'm gonna portable hold the treasure token. And like there's really no right answer. My usual answer is just play whatever deck you think is interesting. If you like looking at deck lists, looking at competitive deck lists, what's doing well, like my recommendation is really like just find a deck that you think is cool and interesting and play it. I don't recommend worrying very much about like, you know, being a noob and making mistakes, because ultimately that's going to happen. That you're going to be a noob and you're going to make mistakes, like no matter what deck you choose to play. So you should just try to find a deck that you think is fun and interesting. Dispatch? Nope. Okay. Game 2. To bring in the Moonlights. 4th Dispatch. Ratchet Bomb. Torpor Orb. 2nd Needle. No portable holes. Cut the 4th Restoration. They are playing Persist. I could definitely see myself. I want to cut the Crackdown Construct. They just have too much interaction. I think 2nd Relic's okay. I'm gonna cut second star, fourth Fiddlebender. Quick submit. When you're playing against creativity, does any version stand out to you as the scariest best? Not really. I think that they're all like very close in power level, which is why like nobody seems to like, you know, definitively feel like they have the best 75, or maybe they do, but there's not a consensus. Mulligan. Keep this. Guess I'm putting back the needle. Do you ever play in the ranked in the Pokemon games? I don't play really any other card games. I was kind of getting into Storybook Brawl, but I spend so much time in Magic that I'm just like more interested in like any additional gaming, being like D&D and you know, other video games, rather than just playing more and more card games nonstop every day for my entire life. Guess I'm getting Nettlecyst. Is Titan Creativity still built? I felt like Titan Creativity was best built as a Yorion deck, and so obviously with the Yorion ban, I'm kind of low on it. What do you mean card game and video game? Oh, sure. I mean, this is like, I don't know how popular of an opinion, but as far as the Pokemon games go, I'm like, I don't know how people still play them. They're all exactly the same, where they seem to me to be like, you know, super repetitive, same formula over and over again. And like, I guess new Pokemon come out or whatever, but for the most part, I'm just like not that interested in playing the same game every year. Teens a bit flooded here. I've been playing the same game for 10 years, new cards coming out. The game changes constantly though. Like Modern, you know, people always talk about how Modern is unrecognizable or whatever, and like that's why I like it. I like that it changes and there's new stuff to do. Have ever been suspicious of opponents stacking their deck of paper? Kind of happened to be in top 8 this weekend based on top decks. Wasn't 100% sure. I've been suspicious, yeah. I've been suspicious. Very recently, actually, I played against someone who, like, when they cut their deck or shuffled, they never presented it to me, and they were fiddling with their cards weird. But you know, I was also like looking at them as closely as I could, and I couldn't really tell if they were. But it happens, yeah, for sure. Okay, rough stuff. Rough stuff. Need more cheap creatures? I don't know that that's true. We have Ingenious Smith over Fiddlebender. I guess I'm a bit confused exactly. Like what? There's no other cheap creatures to play. There's like we've done some looking, and like you have Stoneforge Mystic, Smith, Sentinel, Fiddlebender. These are the only, in my opinion, playable creatures in this archetype. And I think so. Like I think that the Restoration Power Conduit plan is really good. Also, this is like, you know, the new tech or whatever, and I've been really impressed with it. Been really happy with it. Oh, don't ice me. Inspector. I mean, it's, you know, peace and love. Inspector is dopey as hell. Why not Smith over Stoneforge? Stoneforge is really good in the deck. Also, Stoneforge is really good with Fiddlebender because it finds you your Lightning Greaves, and finds you your Nettlecyst. But Stoneforge is like really good in this deck, where instead of like, you know, most Stoneforge Mystic decks, you grab Kaldra and then you can't do anything because your Stoneforge Mystic dies. You have Nettlecyst, Lightning Greaves to grab, to where if your Stoneforge Mystic dies, it's the powerful 2-for-1, and then you can also Kaldra your opponents too. Although the non-Fiddlebender version is not playing Lightning Greaves, although I think it could play Greaves. Greaves is pretty good with Restoration, Nettlecyst. I might still play Greaves. Let's go with Saga tokens too. Play Greaves over Hearst, probably. I'm a Stoneforge hater. It's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, this happens a lot where players will get an opinion of a card. They'll be basing their their like, you know, thoughts on a card or an archetype based on previous experiences, obviously, because that's the only thing you can base any opinions on in your life. But like Stoneforge Mystic is just a really different card in this list, where in this deck, Stoneforge Mystic is like always going to be a powerful 2-for-1 if you want it to be. That is like, it's grabbing you Nettlecyst, which is a really, really strong card. It puts into play for cheaper if it lives, and if it dies, which, you know, your opponent like has to kill a lot of time, you've gotten like a really good 2-for-1. Ooh. So I can go Restoration. Restoration next turn, discard Greaves, and I could equip Greaves to Fiddlebender and try to set up a combo. Obviously, I'm like pretty likely to die, but you know, maybe we'll live. When I play paper, do I bring my own tokens or struggle and live life? It depends if I have the tokens, I guess. So dispatch for that. We could die if they have 2 untapped lands plus Scape Shift, though. Ooh. It's a pretty good draw, actually. So I'm going to put the Greaves into play here. I have a Power Conduit, I don't have a Saga. I feel that it sucks. I feel that it does nothing. Which is accurate. Okay, so let's float a mana. Hoping my opponent's on remand here, so we'll get Springleaf Drum, I think. Play Citadel. Maybe like a cantrip artifact is a bit better here. It does feel like they're on remand. Okay. Pay for Spell Pierce. We have a second Spell Pierce, maybe? We have a second Dispatch. No. That's it. Okay. Scape Shift deck seems so dominant at the moment. I don't know that I would agree that it feels super dominant, but it's good. Escape Shift is a good deck. I would say that like Murktide is a bad matchup for it. That's probably like the worst one. I could be wrong. Maybe Escape Shift is just like nuts at the moment. I'm out of touch. Nerds, 1 year. Thank you. Way too long to subscribe to me, I think. Okay, I really expect my opponent to have remand. Okay, so we'll flip this. First things first is to equip Greaves and I think attack them. I can also go Stoneforge Mystic, Kaldra. Alright, let me just cast this Fiddlebender, see if it resolves, I guess. I know I said first things first, but I lied. Okay, they do have the remand. So we go equip Greaves here. Attack my opponent. Portable Holder Wrenn in 6. Is it better to Stoneforge Mystic? I mean, I can Stoneforge Mystic next turn. Fiddlebender also like just puts a Nettlecyst in play off the Wellspring. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little short of lethal with Nettlecyst next turn. I think I still have some else to win here. Let's do this. So next turn I can go Nettlecyst into play, 3 mana. Equip haste, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I draw an artifact land, I have lethal or Saga. Okay. At least 5 other mountains. So they can deal 18 if they have Scape Shift. I'm at 20. Can we do the full Crackdown Construct next turn with Stoneforge just haste? I think we might have exactly enough mana as we go. 2 mana assist. Oh, they have bolts. Come on. You can't tank the slug. Oh, bolts plus Scape Shift. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I think we did have the combo where we go. Put Nettlecyst into play 2 mana. Fiddlebender. Tap Fiddlebender. Sack Nettlecyst. Tap the Germ to Springleaf Drum. Put Construct into play. They get enough. Yeah, they should have exactly 18. I'll make them put the mountains into play though. Man, I was playing an RCQ this weekend. I had a Scape Shift opponent who like cast Scape Shift, and I was dead. But I was like, "Can you do it? And can you go through the motions?" And he didn't sack enough mountains. He like picked up 5 mountains, put them in the graveyard, then searched the library, and then was like, "Oh, I need to sack these 2 also." And then I just didn't say anything because I was too awkward. But I was honestly like a little annoyed by it. That he messed up when he was resolving it, and then like just after it's resolving, just like went and sacked 2 more mountains. But I was just too awkward. I didn't say anything. Yeah, I didn't call a judge. I was over it. I don't know. Gamer 5 months. Thank you. I know. I should have called a judge. I was just like. Because like he was even just like wanting me to concede. I was like, "Can you please just do it?" And then I don't know. It was just like a weird situation. Yeah. Obviously, I should have called a judge. Yeah, I'm also liking how with the other list we actually have like a sideboard in this matchup. Ari, 15 months, thank you. Guess I'll bring in 3rd Dispatch. Play 1 portable hole. Alright, mulligan. Keep. Put back the Kaldra. I had to coach my opponent how to combo kill me a mono green Pioneer Mirror yesterday. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's awkward, right? You know. Fate worse than death. An awkward moment with an opposing Magic player. Okay, so we draw. I'm pretty likely to try to sack this Chromatic Star into a Power Conduit here to keep my Saga around. Aquanus, thank you for the 14 months. What are the chances we see 8 key or Time Sieve back on stream? I mean, at some point, like 100%. I just, you know, got a lot going on, got a lot of irons in the fire. Time Sieve specifically is a deck I've been wanting to revisit soon. Just, you know, kind of, you know, there's a lot of decks like that where it's like if I get stuck on the brewing, I end up just ooh. Okay, so I guess we peel a charge counter here. If I get stuck on the brewing, then I end up you know, returning to older decks, but I have not been that stuck on the brewing lately. Need Orin in 6 here. The Restoration notably also plays both the Conduit and can even return my Saga with Chapter 2. I think Minsk and Boo should be banned in Legacy. I don't play enough Legacy to like deserve like an opinion, I think. know. Like I like to have opinions on things that I'm knowledgeable on. I don't like to have opinions on things that I don't play. Formats that I don't play. Just get the Wellspring. I could get Greaves. Could get Greaves. Greaves is pretty good with the Saga tokens. And then protects my Fiddlebender too. Okay, so they probably don't pay for Sentinel, and then they kill 3 of my permanents. Hold on, sorry, I need to turn off auto yields here. Because maybe I want to put another counter on the Sentinel. If I do that, though... let's actually put a counter on the Sentinel. So this way I can play Restoration this turn without missing out on a Saga token. Bolts the Sentinel. Gonna pay 3. They don't pay 3. Draw a Kaldra though, not really doing a ton. So I think I'm gonna get back the Lightning Greaves this turn, and then start making tokens and attacking with them. Although no, I should get back Power Conduit, right? Or maybe that's too slow. Maybe if I get Power Conduit, that's too slow. Oh well, maybe I ain't getting anything back. Maybe I ain't getting nothing back. Okay, 1 mana short of hardcast Kaldra. I guess I just cast Fiddlebender, make a token. Our sideboard guides still exist. There's nothing, no sideboard guides on the Discord channel. I've been, writing sideboard guides for Channel Fireball. You can find them on CFB Pro, and it's been that way for like a year and a half now, or something like that. Could go for lethal with the Wellspring here. I could go cast Wellspring, get Nettlecyst, equip Nettlecyst. Kind of don't hate it, especially because like this beats Bolt. Do I Needle Besage you? They could have a third Besage you here. I get an extra mana off the Germ tapping to Springleaf Drum though, so let's do that. Okay. Did end up drawing relevant cards off the Wellspring, unfortunately. Ice. Okay. You're up. Couldn't you make a construct turn your 1 and 2 Greaves attack? I only have 1 Greaves in the deck, and it's in the graveyard. I couldn't get it back with the Restoration because they besage you the Restoration. Is Kaldra worth playing in this deck? And there's so many other options like this. Yeah, you could cut the Kaldra. Like it's something I've thought about. It's been good enough for me to continue to play it, but cutting it is super reasonable. Sometimes you just cast it. So what do they have? Ancient Grudge, Besage, Otawara? Death. Okay. Game 3, game 3. Did I consider Blacksmith skill? So the thing about this deck is like the only card that's really good to skill, I think, is Fiddlebender. Although I don't know, maybe skill is good. Maybe I probably play it in the sideboard if anything, but skill does seem kind of sweet. Does Besage you save them there? Yeah, they kill the construct and then they're alive. Is there any point to experiment with Rocco combos? The deck's still not good enough. I wouldn't say that I would say the deck is not good enough. I really liked it when I was playing it. So like as far as Rocco combo goes, I did like literally one stream. I had a good time. I liked the deck, and I just kind of moved on. I want to return to it, and I feel like Mox Amber is a card that has potential in the deck because you like gives all the red and 6. You're already an artifact deck. You have a lot of legends. But I think that you could maybe also play Ragavan and just they like usually I don't like Ragavan without removal in decks, but you do have Asmo, so I don't know. But to say I didn't like it, or that it's I think it's not good enough is not accurate. Okay, I guess that's not so bad. It's not so good either though, especially if we keep drawing bricks. Planes. Scott, 12 months, thank you. Obviously, you have some good draws, but feeling like probably gonna lose this game. I'm pretty interested to try this version too. I played a little bit of it last night. Another land. Thanks. I played a little bit of this version last night. So this is cutting the Fiddlebenders for Ingenious Smith. And what's really cool about this version is like every single thread in the deck is a 2-for-1 with the exception of Power Conduit, but I don't know if you want to count the conduits exactly. But every single your deck is just like so much more resilient to removal. And you still have like a powerful beatdown plan, and you get to play more Moonlights, and you get to play Mind Sensors for decks like our opponents in Titans, which are kind of hard to fit in otherwise. So I think it'll be fun to play like League of this, League of that, assess. I'm gonna concede if I draw another land. Oh, that's not another land. Summon Jegantha. Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot to summon Jegantha. A lot of times you'll be discarding Jegantha to the Restoration, especially if you're like looping with Power Conduit. We also, of course, need our opponent to, never draw Scape Shift. Easy enough, right? We do get to, use Chapter 2 every single turn for like, the rest of, as long as we keep these two in play. Hopefully they draw some Dryads. Why did I keep the Dispatchers in? I kept the Dispatchers in because of the Dryads, but like I just didn't have other cards to bring in. But in this other version, we get access to Avid Mind Sensor, which will help in this matchup and against Titan. Ooh. Is the Restoration just another thread in the deck, or does it fill another purpose? I mean, it's very good with Power Conduit, so makes Power Conduit like more than just a card that's good with Urza Saga, and especially in this other version, like all of your threats are 2-drops, besides Nettlecyst and the restorations themselves. So like you're usually able to get something very powerful back with Chapter 2. You can continue to do that with Power Conduit, and Chapter 3 is actually pretty good with oh gross. Chapter 3 is actually pretty good with Lightning Greaves. Alright, we're getting very close to 104.3A territory. Yep. Rough last game. I'm excited for this version. I didn't playtest this one as much as I wanted to yesterday, but I think conceptually it makes a lot of sense. Fiddlebendless Fiddlebender.